went to Juba, South.
The first civilization to take Africans up.
All right. Hi, Dwight. Hello.
Yeah. Yes, hello. Can you hear me? Can you see me?
Mm-hmm. Can
All
you
right.
hear me?
Yes.
All right. You're welcome on our live.
Yeah, well, thank you for having me on your show.
Yeah. All right, our dear viewers, thank you for joining Africa Mpenzi TV. I'm Africa Maria the Darkest Berry. I usually call myself Mbito Kati, and I'm broadcasting live from Kampala, Uganda. It is a pleasure to, of course, be here with you guys once more time. It has been a long time since, of course, I had to come live, and it's a privilege for me to have you, Dwight Davidson, on my live today.
Yeah, well, it's a pleasure to join you from America.
You look smart.
Hopefully we can provide some knowledge and education today.
Oh, your network is breaking a little. Your network is breaking.
Hello?
Hello, your network is breaking a little bit.
Oh,
But
really?
what do you hear?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, I can.
It might be happening because, again, phone calls coming in, so it might start breaking when I get a phone call and I have to stop it.
Yeah, I noticed because I'm using my direct data, StreamYard notified me that I need to use Wi-Fi or something for my network to be extremely stable, and but it's fine. And your voice is a little bit back or slower, but I guess it's because of network. We shall dive into our topic today without wasting no time. Of course, our major topic is the unrest in Tanzania as of now, and what is going on with Suluhu Hassan, the first East African female president. The situation
Right.
in Tanzania is something that we have expected, because this is what happens in Africa, where people are being denied of their democratic rights, where people are being denied of course, there are various rights. Now, this time in Tanzania, we saw the opposition leaders, because we have not one, not two, but more than two, of course, saying they do not accept the ruling of the Electoral Commission in Tanzania. I want to first share this live with different. I want to see if I can share this. The post StreamYard, and let me see how I can share this. But meanwhile,
Okay. Well, yes, Tanzania has been ruled by the same political party since Julius Nyerere. So it's not, when one group has been in power that long, it's not unusual for them to do things to keep from being unseated or taken out of power. So when President Magufuli died in a strange manner and he was replaced, it seemed like, Magufuli he was popular, but he ruled with a strong hand as well. He was a continuation of the same political party. And when I heard that, after he had exposed the fact that the COVID was positive, whether he tested it on a plant or animal or human, uh, kind of exposing the discrepancies. All of a sudden, he became sick and passed away. So uh, I was suspicious back when that happened, and but I was thinking that the lady, Miss Suluhu, would, you know, be a successful Democratic president, but it seems that that's not going to be the case. When maybe the people in the shadows behind her, the real powers in the party, said, well, you're going a little too far. And they put some brakes on the reforms that she was bringing in. Money corrupts. So, and they've had access to the government coffers for what, since the 1960s. So, and now that they face seemingly strong opposition, they show that they're willing to, according to some reports, end the lives of over 1,000 people who've been demonstrating. So it's a lot of unrest there. And it has been known as a very stable country, but all of a sudden it's erupted. But, it's like boiling water. You turn the heat up and eventually it's going to start boiling. So it seems like it's reached the boiling point. And then it's right next to Kenya. And I heard that the young people of Kenya were trying to get into Tanzania, but they were blocked. They were trying to get in to show their solidarity with Tanzania, but they weren't able to get in. Hello? But yes, we should do some joint broadcasts with some other journalists at some time in the future to, broaden the views of what's going on in Tanzania and in other countries in Africa and even in the diaspora here in the United States and the Caribbean and Central and South America as well. Are you there, Mary? But anyway, and I've heard various people asking for the African Union to step in, even the East African Economic Organization. But of course, I'm not surprised that they're not saying too much because we can look at the governments of most of the East African countries, and they're not very democratic. Excuse me, they're not very democratic themselves. So I'm not surprised that they're not calling on the president to back off on the harsh treatment of her citizens. Hello? Well, So, and in Tanzania, we see what's going on, and then we see, I'm sure that the foreign powers have a lot to do with what's going on in Tanzania and the withholding of democratic rights within Tanzania. And also we can see the hand of foreign powers in the western part of Africa, in Nigeria. We can delve into that maybe more today or at a later date, but we see the autocratic leaning president of the United States, Donald Trump, who wants to end democracy in the United States, in my opinion. He's threatening Nigeria with intervention.
All right.
Are you back?
Yeah, I'm back. I was trying to share this live to different destination, and I'm supposed to re-go to YouTube to leave StreamYard for me to reach YouTube to be able to share the videos. But of course, I'm glad that you are on, and I was hearing you still of course, in the other phone. But now, you've been telling us about the situation. I want us to remember that Tanzania is a joint. Let me call it. Tanzania joined. It was two countries joining together to form one country, where Tanganyika joined together with Zanzibar to form the Tanzania we have right now. But the major reasons that these countries were joining together was to bring peace, because there was a lot of disunity. Remember, Zanzibar was occupied by the Arabs, and now it was occupied by the Arabs, and then this Tanganyika had the majorities of the Black Africans. Now, when they united and formed Tanzania, it was for a lot of people say there was these two countries joined together wasn't a peaceful thing. There were a lot of disagreement. I feel like Nyerere left a lot of unresolved issues. We usually look at Tanzania as one of a country that is extremely peaceful, but when you talk to Tanzanians themselves, they also have things that they will tell you and you will be surprised. Like, are you serious? Is this what is going on in your country? And so on and so forth. But I'm still going back to like you, a Black American or a Black African who would wish to come down to Africa. How do you feel when you look at different African countries experiencing these instabilities and, of course, unrest? Because at one time, I think I've spoken to a lot of Black Africans in diaspora, and they have a dream of coming back to Africa. How do you feel when you learn about the unrest in Africa?
How do I feel? Well, as a progressive-minded person, I'm not surprised at it at all, because there are a lot of issues in Africa. Most African countries are still in a neo-colonial state, and therefore there is going to be a lot of unrest to end these neo-colonial situations in almost every country. So I'm not surprised at what's going on in, various African countries, even the ones that should be prospering, like South Africa. Like South Africa, they are still not matter of fact, their economy is going down.
True.
And you know, when you, like I said, just like now, the ANC, far as I can see, they have been corrupt. They have been corrupted by being in power too long and having access to a lot of money. And you know, they don't want to give up power. And I'm surprised that what you call EFF. I'm surprised that they are not winning more elections than they are in South Africa.
Yeah,
Because they should be.
Now the ruling party in Tanzania is called the Chama cha Mapinduzi. And this party has been there since. Apparently, I have not seen any other party taking leadership in Tanzania. When Magufuli passed on, Suluhu took the position because automatically he was supposed to be the president, because in their constitution, once the president dies, the one who is next to him becomes the president. Now, when Suluhu came to power, or when Suluhu became the president, of course, it was an automatic. There was no election, or it wasn't the decision of the people, but the decision of the constitution. Now, a lot of people did not agree with the fact that she became a president, and others were like, no, a woman is now a president. Other people celebrated that we are seeing the first female East African president. Apparently, we have not seen a lot of female presidents, not only in Africa, but the entire world. Now, when Suluhu took position, we saw she started, she was so very predictable. Like, apparently everyone knew what she's thinking and what she's going to do next. She disagreed a lot with people who were she actually had an iron hand that whoever was against her at the end of the day, the constitution, or she would deal with you in one way or the other. Now, before even the campaigns started, we saw opposition leaders being arrested. Others were, of course, stopped from contesting. And a lot of people were worried because she was so serious that she was not ashamed to proudly and broadly show the world that she's probably afraid of the opposition, or she's sure if these people come, maybe they will win her or something, I don't know. But she released one of the opposition leader sometime back after even the campaigns were over, is when he was released from prison. But again, he refused to come out, and he said, why are you releasing me now that the campaigns are almost over? So we saw the big ruling, the big opposition parties in Tanzania not attending. And this time round, we did not see a big population of Tanzanians standing up for this election. Now, Tanzania is one of the biggest countries in East Africa. And that means it has at least the biggest population in East Africa so far. But, and it has been exemplary for some time. Now, when Suluhu Hassan, the president as of now, because she is, when she came into power, first, one thing she did, I don't know whether this is good or bad, you're going to tell me what you feel about it. She denied other people who are not Tanzanians working in Tanzania. That is one thing she did. She blocked. If you're probably if you're a Ugandan, you come in Tanzania to be a teacher or to do some other thing. People were denied that, they were denied that access to Tanzanian jobs. In East Africa, we have what we call the East African Mashariki, or let me say East Africans united together for free movement, market and job, employment, and all that we are one in East Africa. And all the former Tanzanian presidents were in support of East Africa working together, starting from trade to education to social, economical, and all that. They were working together. Now, when she came into power, she put that end. All right. We saw people, okay, moving to Tanzania was fine, but we had a lot of Ugandans working in Tanzania as English teachers and teachers in different fields, and also people starting up businesses. So this is something she denied other people coming in Tanzania to do. Do you feel, where does this leave Tanzania as a country? And also, where does this leave other Africans probably who seek jobs in Tanzania?
Well, I feel that apparently she's trying to grasp control of the economy and make it seem as if she is, what do you call it, Tanzania for Tanzanians. And so maybe she's actually trying to increase the employment of Tanzanians by making sure that they have first opportunity to get those jobs. But, on the other hand, if there's free flow of travel and trade, then people of Tanzania should be able to come into Uganda and get jobs. And the people in Uganda should be able to go into Tanzania and get jobs. And stuff. I know there's a lot of problems with things like that, like in South Africa, the people from other countries, Zimbabwe, and they have a lot of friction going into South Africa, okay, and taking jobs in South Africa. There may be, I don't know if there's much of that going on between Tanzania and other East African countries, but she may be trying to appear to her citizens being, I'm making sure that my citizens have jobs and that they're not taken by people from other countries. So that may be playing a part in that. But so trying to garner the loyalty of her citizens. But when you're supposed to be having a trade agreement and a travel agreement, then it should balance out. They should be able to travel between the countries and get jobs in whichever country they can qualify for. So that's what I'm thinking she was trying to do. Garner the allegiance of her own citizens by saying, hey, my citizens need to get those jobs first, and then if there's any other positions available, then people from other countries can come in and get those jobs. But that's but I know that kind of goes against the Pan-Africanist view of unity. But until the African countries develop more and have more job opportunities, then there's going to be some situations like that where there are not enough jobs. So the economies need to grow. So like so basically the tariff barrier should be taken down. There should be more economic cooperation and you have more jobs. So there are enough jobs for everybody, whether they're working in their own country or if they're working in someone else's. They travel into another country.
True. So in Tanzania, once you are declared a president, once you are declared president by the commission, it is the final. In Tanzania, you cannot file a petition in any court in case you feel you are not satisfied by the results of the electoral commission in Tanzania. This was stated from that this is their constitution. Once the electoral commission or the commission that deals with the election declares someone a president or whatever position that person has, once the electoral commission declares the results of that person, there is no turning back. There is no filing a petition in any court whatsoever. What do you think about this law? Where you cannot sign a petition, you cannot complain against cheating or any other thing. In Tanzania, the final decision makers are the electoral commission. And what do you think about that, really?
That's undemocratic. I think the person should be able to file a petition with the court to have the results checked.
Mm.
I mean, that sounds like the ruling party put that in place so that once they are declared the winner, nobody can appeal. That's not democratic at all. But then we know, I always say Africa has a strain of autocracy or non-democracy in its DNA. So I'm not surprised that they put that in the Constitution. I'm an African American. I'm born and raised in the United States, although I claim my African root. But I'm not over here. You know, we are totally, because we were cut off from our roots, we're totally unfamiliar with any type of kingship or anything that would, well, in politics, we don't have an association with anything like autocracy or dictatorship. Now, this president, the man that's a president, so-called president today, he's trying to bring in what appears to be a more dictatorial type of government. But we're not used to that. We're used to democracy, and therefore I get into it with a lot of Africans on different websites and to praising people who rule with a strong hand and undemocratic, because y'all come from a tradition of having a king or someone who has total and complete power, and then from kings to military coups, military dictators. And I'm not used to that. I wouldn't accept it. You know, I say I'm like from the West. My view of politics is from the Western viewpoint. I told several people, I said, hey, I'm like the Cassius in the Shakespeare play, Julius Caesar, when he said, what is Caesar? He said, is he a giant for us to be little midgets creeping around his legs? I said, I'm not. I mean, what are y'all? Y'all over there, y'all little midgets creeping around y'all dictator's legs? You know, are y'all not equal? Just as much a man as the dictator? What makes him able to, tell you what to do? And you go along with it. So, don't you have a brain like him? Doesn't he go to the bathroom like you? He's not a god he's not a god. So, therefore, the Constitution should be written to where the people, the common people, to the courts of their country, hey, that I have proof that was cheating, and I want to have it investigated. Okay, so I don't agree with it being in the Constitution of Tanzania, which is not my country. That hey, once it's ruled, they can't be appealed. Okay, so yeah, I don't. That's what I think about it. That
Can you find
I'm
a
not
way
in
of
favor of that.
can you find a way of sharing your life? Do you have an option of sharing your life where you are? Do you see that option so that we can share? The next step, we are going to dive a little bit. We are going to compare what has happened in Tanzania and what we are foreseeing, probably in Uganda. Do you know how to share that with your friends?
Share? Do I know how to share it?
Mm.
What do you
Like
What do you
share,
mean? Share it on?
do you have an option of sharing this stream?
I don't know. I'm not. I haven't used this in a long time, so I don't know. I don't want to press the wrong button. But
All right. Do
let me
you
see.
see a Facebook and a YouTube logo, or you have, of course, logged? He has left the studio. Sorry. But of course, I hope you send your invitation again, and then we see how we are going to still go about that. We have had for those who are just joining us right now, we've been having, of course, Ray Davidson from United States, and we've been, of course, going through a lot of issues that are happening in Tanzania. And the question I was to pose to him, he has, of course, sent a request to join us back. I had posed the question to him because not long ago, come 2026, on the 15th of January, Uganda is going to be decided. I'm saying that way I'm posing because I'm a Ugandan. Of course, come forth next year, 2026, and the 15th of course, of January, Uganda is going to decide. Now, in Tanzania, we've seen the violence. In Uganda, so far, we've seen the police. It was only when I was watching Citizen TV when I saw some news about Uganda harassing the opposition and stuff, and I've not seen that being in Uganda as of now, truth to be told. I think they are trying so much to have it clean. Let me allow him to rejoin us. All right, there you go.
Hello, I'm back. I told you I might hit the wrong button.
You love yourself. I was silly. But it's okay. It's okay. So I was trying to show you how you can do that, but it is fine. You're back. It's fine. I'm trying to share.
What button do I hit to share? Because I don't know. I hit the one that exits the studio.
All right. Now, when you look
Which time?
on your right, there is a Facebook and a YouTube logo. Do you see it?
No, Facebook and YouTube logo.
Mm.
Mm-mm. I just see like the exit the studio, and I see three little dots. Then I see a microphone and a camera. I don't know what.
I think now I'm the one in the main studio. That's why you can't see that. But if you want to share, you can still leave at the studio. You go on your YouTube channel, like you check this video, you share it through YouTube.
And then I see the button for back chat for people in the studio, but I don't see one for Facebook and anybody.
Because I'm the one in the operation room.
Oh, okay.
So you can't see. But if you want to share, you're going to do this. You have to, like what you did before, you move out of the studio and then you go on your YouTube channel. You get my YouTube. You be like you are viewing this video outside the studio. Then you get that button from YouTube.
Then I share.
Yeah, and then
Okay.
you come, and I'm going to add you back.
I see. Okay.
Okay.
I see.
All right. So before you go, probably maybe we shall do that next time.
Yeah.
We have seen the unrest in Tanzania, and a lot of people are saying now Uganda is going to have the elections in January next year, that is 2026. It's going to be the 15th, when Uganda is going to decide whether to have a different leader or the very leader. What do you think? What do you foresee in 2026? Come 15th of January.
Well, we've already heard from the son of the president leader, who's also head of the army, and he says that Uganda should not try to demonstrate like in Kenya. What he calls the Kenyan virus. He said the people of Uganda should not try to contract the Kenyan virus because the security in Uganda is ready and prepared to counteract that any type of this disagreement with the election. So he's already warned the people. Okay, so and I got kind of confused about what was going on, because at one point the son was sounding as if he was going to run for president, and his father, the current president, was still sounding as if he was running. So I guess the father must have conferred with the son and told him, no, he's gonna have to wait his turn, because the father still apparently wants to run again. So apparently he told his son to sit down and run the army. so yeah. So I'm thinking that, and then I remember the people being killed when they were protesting. That was the last election when Bobby Wine lost, and they were protesting in the streets, and many people were killed by the Ugandan army and police. So yeah, I don't expect anything different. If there's any protest, they need to be very peaceful, because they don't mind injuring, as I would say. They don't mind injuring anybody who is not peaceful. Okay, so and then somebody that that's in your family was also arrested and detained for a period of time when he was talking about running for president. And that was that might have been in 2024.
Yeah.
I'm not. Yeah. So same thing Sululu has done, and other people have done over in West Africa, Senegal, before Diomaye Faye and the prime minister, they were trying to run, and they were both arrested by whoever the president of Senegal was at that time. But I think they changed their mind and decided to let them out of prison. But the man who was president, they made it illegal for him to run. So he got Diomaye Faye to run, and he won. And that's another situation I'm looking at, because I'm wondering, it seems like there's a little friction between the president and the prime minister. So will they So I'm thinking that if the prime minister is not, he wants to be more militant, and if he has a chance, he would like to replace Faye as the president. And so that's another up and coming situation. So like I said, this is like you said, Africa is African American. If you're African American or even African wants to return to Africa, you're gonna have to expect turmoil to one level or another because unfortunately, well, I just said that you have, like I said, because of the culture and the kings of the past and all this kind of stuff, and people thinking when they become president, they're supposed to be a king instead of being a servant of the people. And then the ones that do get in it and try to serve the people even as a dictator, okay, they still think that they're supposed to be a king and they want to stay in there. Like we have, I'm probably, maybe we'll get more views when I say this because Traore, he has canceled the elections that he promised to have in Burkina Faso.
Yeah.
So, maybe he thinks he needs more time to get the country on the right path. And he still sees there's a lot of people in his country who would like to return it to the hands of the kleptocracy who want to steal the money rather than serve the people. So he feels like he still needs more time to get rid of them or neuter them. So he doesn't want to have elections that could allow them to get back into power. So, like I said, it's don't expect stability when you come to Africa. So, and in Uganda, that's going to be a situation. Because I saw a video that somebody put up that was supposedly, allegedly showing the reigning party in Uganda, man standing there protecting them. So that's allegedly. I can't prove it. That's what the video was supposed to be showing. So,
all right. We are first going to have a short break, then we shall be back.
I went to Juba, South.
The first civilization to take Africans up.
All right, welcome back from that short break. I just why are you laughing when I short break? Okay. Well, I was very I had to have a bit of a break. But back to what you were. Of course, in Africa, for example, in Cameroon, we have seen Biya, the one who recently won in Cameroon, is the oldest president in Africa, and he has led Cameroon for apparently like 64 years. Now, Biya, time and again, he keeps on, of course, winning and he becoming the president. I don't want to say no matter what, because it is believed that people vote for him. When he won the elections recently, not long ago, we still saw a lot of violence. We saw instabilities. We saw unrest. We saw demonstrations in Cameroon. And actually, to the point that the Electoral Commission was trying to condemn Cherema, who was, of course, one of his opponents during the election. And they said they will sue him for the, of course, for the lives lost during these demonstrations, and they billed him a certain huge amount of money for that issue. Now, we have not, apart from the years back where we saw Tory, at least we saw 4 presidents coming in a shortest time. And Africa became so vibrant that everyone was saying Africa is waking up. We are seeing young people taking the lead. We are seeing people taking power and oil. And just along the run, we lost all the, the morale. Everything just calmed down. Most of the opposition leaders, I'm going to say one example, I'm going to use the one of Uganda because at least that one I know better. He came out and then he was like, he said, we are going to have a new leader. Look at Ibrahim Traore and all that. What do you think about him, Ibrahim Traore? Has he delivered what these people were lacking? Because there is one thing for you to want to have a change, and then nothing changes at all. The only thing that will change probably is the appearance or the leader. What do you think about Ibrahim Traore as he brought changes in Burkina Faso? Is this the change that Africa really wants?
Well, I'm speaking from across the Atlantic. Of course, like I said, I'm speaking from a democratic viewpoint. But and then you're taking, like I said, cultural differences. But he seems to be bringing about changes. He seems to be bringing about improvement in their lives.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing also that he seems to have learned from to build a large group of young people who are committed to, bringing about change in Burkina Faso. He's bringing the teenagers of a certain age to together and training them, to work for the people instead of being selfish. Well, I don't think, because what happened with Sankara, it didn't seem like there was any massive opposition when he was killed. It seems like the guy, what was his name, Blaise Compaoré or whatever his name was able to assassinate him and then just take over and turn back the clock on all the things that Sankara was trying to do, and there wasn't a lot of opposition. Whereas it seems that Traore is trying to train up a group of young people who, even if he is assassinated or in some kind of way, they will say, no, we're not going to allow this to happen without some opposition to it. We're going to stand up and say, no, whoever did this, you're going to have to do away with us as well. So because we want to continue forward with the improvements, we're not going back to a small group of people getting all the benefits. So he seems like he's trying to learn from what happened with Sankara and train up the younger people to have certain goals and values that cannot be easily erased and and rolled back. But I think also that terrorism improving agriculture. He appears to be like trying to take control of the gold that's being mined and utilize more of that money to improve the lives of the people in the country. So, but like I said, I'm not in favor of dictators. And one thing I am concerned about is he's bringing in some type of digital ID. And I don't like that idea of a digital ID because that's part of the whole thing that the West and Bill Gates and other billionaires of the West are trying to bring in to create a new world order, one world government. And that's why I'm kind of worried about him bringing in a digital ID into a country like Burkina Faso that's not even that developed.
I'm back. For those who are just joining us, you can drop in your comments and tell us what you think about our live today. I wanted to share this live on TikTok, but I'm experiencing a challenge. I'm supposed to, I think on TikTok it will be much better, but it's okay. Let's continue with our topic.
Okay, well, like I was saying, Burkina Faso. Wow, I mean, I'm just kind of worried why he be bringing in digital ID, but I mean because that's used. The underlying use of that is to track your citizens and keep them under surveillance. So now he may be doing it because trying to prevent infiltration by terrorists. The Islamic terrorists. He may be trying to use it to prevent the Islamic terrorists from being able to infiltrate into urban centers, the cities, and create, terrorist activity. That may be why he's doing it, but of course, it can be used for. That's the way it's used for protection, but it can be used to track and oppress your citizens as well. So I have to be keeping an eye on what's going on with that. But like I said, in general, he seems to be improving the life of the citizens. So right now, I'm kind of neutral on. I'm neutral. He appears to be trying to improve the life of the citizens, stop the neo-colonialism of the West inside of his country. However, another thing I'm concerned about is, the role of Russia in, are they trying to become the new neo-colonialists in West Africa? Okay.
Yeah, not only in West Africa, because Russia, I personally feel like Russia wants to have its hold, not only in West Africa, though we are visibly seeing its presence in West Africa compared to these other parts, but it wants to have its stronghold apparently in the entire Africa. And it's not only about Russia, but I guess China as well.
China as well, yes. Well, they're working together. They're partners in BRICS. So, I mean, and then that's another thing. Let me get some comments on this. From the African Americans watching this, they are telling me, well, Russia never colonized Africa. Well, that was because, and this sister from she got a show. It's called Pan-African Genius. She does a Pan-African Genius, and she did a whole show on this, showing that Russia wasn't able to colonize. Russia wasn't able to colonize Africa because they weren't strong enough. Russia attended the Berlin Conference in in the late 1800s, they just didn't have a strong enough navy at that time to be able to fight through the British and French and take over some territory. Okay? But they attended the conference. And also, they thought, well, look, they helped the liberation movements. Yeah, that was Russians under communism. Okay? Their ideology was different. Now, Russia is a capitalist country, fascist capitalist country, which gives free rein to racism and greed. Okay, under Marxism, Leninism, they were not allowed to openly practice that, so they couldn't come in to Africa and say, "Oh, we're going to colonize you." They had to come in to Africa and say, we want to help you as fellow human beings to become free." Now they're no longer under that doctrine. So they're free to be selfish, greedy. I think they have mining rights in. I know when Wagner Group, Wagner Group rebelled and Putin caused that plane to crash to kill their leader. I believe that's what he did. But allegedly, I say. But anyway, now it's called now they changed the name of Wagner Group to the Africa Corps, which is strange, the name of the Nazi German group that was in Africa during World War II, Africa Corps. But anyway, yeah. So I got an eye on Russia and what they're doing, because they're providing. They're also in the Central African Republic, protecting a not so democratic dictator who is not doing things for his people. Okay, so basically, they're willing to work with Traore, who is trying to help his people, and they're willing who is a dictator, and they're willing to work with dictators who are not helping their people, like the man of a Central African Republic. So as far as I'm concerned, they're just trying to get a toehold in Africa, and like the Wagner Group was taking part of the gold in Mali and in Burkina Faso, and they were taking it to Qatar and getting it refined and taking it and making a profit off of it. Now, so I don't know what the deal is now since the Wagner Group has been dissolved. But like I said, Putin is not Lenin, and Putin is not for revolution. Putin is about Putin and making money. Okay, he's one of the richest men in the world right now. Okay, so I tell people now, do not turn your back on Russia. Do not turn your back on China, and keep an eye on them, because they could be wolves in sheep's clothing. Okay, so that's what my word is on
that. All right. I'll put a disclaimer that the content that we are using is for education purposes. We are not trying to probably convince anyone or in one way or the other. We are just trying to educate those who are watching our live. For those who have joined us, thank you so much for joining our live. There is a comment section there. You can drop in your comment and tell us what you think about it. Now, we're going to have an hour of this discussion because one reason I'm supposed to eat before it is late.
We've already gone an hour. We're an hour. I didn't think we would talk that long. But I want to say one thing else. That all this stuff, Russia and China, all of a sudden they're releasing all this stuff about, like Russia is going into that so-called vault of the Eastern Orthodox Church of Russia, and they're coming out with all these icons showing Jesus to be black and all the disciples to be black. I said, well, what happened? They've had this stuff for hundreds of years. Why are they coming out with it now? Is it because they're trying to Is it because they're trying to sneak their way into Africa? And look at China. And look at China. China, all of a sudden, they're talking about, oh, well, we descended from Africa. We have some of our people came from Africa. We tested our DNA. And they were talking, so why is this all of a sudden? They've known this for centuries that black people were in China. Black people started China. Why is it now just coming out?
Let me see.
Okay, but anyway, yeah, think about that. Why is it just now coming out when they're trying to push into Africa and appear to be friends?
I have a brother. I have one of the journalists I know who has requesting to join our live, Hillary Kawandize, but he's in audio, I think. Let me first add him on stage. And hi, Hillary. Hello.
Hi.
You're
Hello. Are you able to hear me?
loud and
Yes, hello. Yes. Okay, it's me, Larry Kavandize. Coming
It's
live
got
from
some noise in the
Masindi.
background or something.
Pardon?
I said you got some noise in the background.
Music in the background?
Yes, kind of loud. But anyway, it's good to meet you. Did you have a comment you wanted to make?
So
How what?
how is now?
It's still rather loud, but we can hear you. So go ahead and comment.
Are you able to hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hello?
Yes,
Okay.
go ahead, please.
So as I said, I'm Hillary Trevor Kavandize coming in from Masindi town.
Hillary,
I'm a broadcast journalist and I host a YouTube show. Are we together?
Yes.
loud and clear. Hillary, what do you think
Okay.
about the situation in Tanzania? I think Hillary is
Could you
in
repeat for me the question again?
What do you think about the situation that is in Tanzania, the unrest that is in Tanzania? What do you think about it compared to our country, Uganda?
One, now these are my thoughts. First of all, it is an indicator that Africa's hope for democracy is now betrayed. As you see, Africans we are trying to fight to take out the dictators in our continent, and now Tanzania has already witnessed that the current president who has been elected into leadership, first of all, had used the absolute powers as the president and the presidential candidate, and refused all the opposition party leaders to continue to run as president. So it brings an indicator that Africa's independence is nowhere to be seen and will not be in the nearby years to come. Then how will it reflect to Uganda? We are going into elections, and that is next year. We're remaining with some 2 months to election time. So it shows an indicator, however, more that Uganda under Museveni has accepted more people to contest. but still, we already know who is going to win. So to me, it is an indicator that Uganda will also be like that. We might have peaceful elections than as opposed to the other one for 2021, but still, the struggle for democracy has been betrayed.
All right,
Okay.
Kabandi. Thank you
Well,
so
we
much
should
for
go ahead.
yeah. Thank you so much, Kabandiza, for your submission. I think
Yes,
we have
thank you.
lost you. Okay, that was Kabandize Hillary. He's a journalist from Masindi, and like you say, he also has his YouTube channel where he tries to, of course, bring out the bigger voice to the world. And it has been, of course, a great pleasure hosting him here with us.
Yeah.
And yeah, this shows that we are going to be having people come in one way or the other. We just need to set the ball running, and of which we have started already. He has talked about the the democracy in Africa that has failed the Africans. This democracy in Africa was introduced to us by our colonizers, and I feel like we had a misconception. We don't understand what democracy is in the African system. Uh, Mr. Dwight, you've been saying democracy, you are looking at democracy in the westernized manner.
Mm-hmm.
Like being an African man, you are looking at democracy in what we call a Mzungu manner. Uh, it's what we are calling the westernized manner, which is fine. Probably you have a different picture, given the environment and the way, given the environment of democracy that you have
Mm-hmm.
lived in. Compare now, you cannot compare the democracy you have over there to this side. But of course, democracy was introduced to us by Hillary is coming back on that stage. I'm seeing he's sending his request, and then I'm trying to work out my body, and I'm supposed to eat before it is late, according to But Hillary is sending his invitation. Let me first, because now let me first allow him, and then we see what he thinks before, of course, we end our show today. Probably tomorrow we shall have more time. I had a lot of things disturbing here and there because we are just logging in StreamYard for the first time. But let me try to add him and see what he thinks. Hillary. Now I think he has mute.
Hello,
I
Hillary.
think he's on mute. I think he's on mute. Now I think Hillary is on mute, but I feel I'm looking forward to having a lot. I have a lot of people who wish to join this panel, but I guess some of them were a little bit quite busy. We are going to be rescheduling and try to make sure that our schedule falls in the time of a lot of people. I've got a lot of people with different perspectives towards what is happening in Africa. And of course, this is the TV where you find a lot of things, starting from politics, of course, to history, to news, breaking news, news updates, and of course, a lot of beautiful information. All the things you want, you're going to get them here at Africa Mpenzi TV, your number one channel. Now, of course, Dwight, thank you so much for joining this live. You have made
Thank
it
you for inviting me.
wonderful. You have given me a great, great company, and you have simplified everything. Thank you so much for joining, and thank you so much for, of course, supporting this channel in all that you do. And of course, allow me, of course, play our outros, because we are going to end this live. If you have something to say before we end it, you're welcome.
I just want to say I enjoyed being here, and I look forward to collaborating with you and watching your channel grow.
Thank you. Thank you. Unfortunately, you've not shared to your friends, but probably next time. Now, next time, what you're gonna do, because before you come to the live, I will go on live and then go to YouTube, you share, and then you can join after sharing. I think that will be much easier.
Yeah.
All right. So allow me end this show. Thank you so much for those who have been watching us live from Kampala, Uganda, and also from the United States of America. Dwight Davidson broadcasting from his house. Oh, you're kidding.
From my home studio.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Of course. All right. Thank you so much, guys. We're looking forward to having you guys here. Tomorrow, we're going to be coming up apparently every day with the different topics. You are welcome to join us. You're welcome to comment. You're welcome to share. Thank you so much for being here.
I went to Juba, South.
The first civilization to take Africans up.